Hey everyone, this is Tiffany.
And Ryan.
And welcome to our Rush Creek podcast. Join us each week for conversations, stories, and encouragement you can take with you anywhere.
What's going on? Welcome back to the Rush Creek podcast. We are so excited that you've joined us for another week of awesome conversations. I'm Ryan, one of your hosts, along with my incredible co-host, Tiffany. And we are excited today. We are talking all things Rush Creek loves. But before we get there, we have to introduce our guest for this episode, and that is Mr. Shane Cavitt. Shane, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
We are excited that you've joined us for Rush Creek podcast, and we're going to be talking all things Rush Creek loves today. And so we'll get to that in a minute, though. But I have a bit of a way just to kind of get us in. Shane, you're a proud Longhorn, right?
Absolutely.
Graduated from University of Texas.
Yep.
Will you reveal the year? When did you graduate? No? Is that hard?
1989.
Okay, good. There we go. So it's fine.
Just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few years ago. Proud Longhorn. Is UT winning a national championship this year in football?
Absolutely. They're number one, preseason number one.
Yeah.
Just going to stay that way throughout the whole season.
I was about to say, we're recording like the season starts next week.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's game time.
Yeah,
feel good about Arch Manning, the whole
Heisman,
thing.
National Championship, all of it.
It's time. Okay, he's going the whole way.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I like it. We'll see. I don't know. I'm a Baylor fan, and it has not gone our way the past couple years, so I'll just leave it at that. Tiffany, who are you? No.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
Longhorns.
Okay.
Sure,
Oh,
Longhorns.
are you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
genuinely didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't go to like a really big, cool college.
I didn't
but,
either.
You know.
But
If I'm going to watch football, it's going to be Longhorns.
okay.
There we
nice. All right. Well, Shane, like I said, we're talking all things Rush Creek loves today, and so obviously you've got the Rush Creek loves shirt on. So just maybe big picture, even before we get to Rush Creek loves, Shane, you're our compassion minister here at Rush Creek Church, and so just kind of for the people, maybe what do you do here at Rush Creek? What's kind of your main role as compassion minister? And then also, how'd you get here to Rush Creek doing compassion ministry? How did you your journey to get here?
Yeah, so compassion ministry is what we talk about here at Rush Creek. It includes all things local outreach. It also includes our global and national missions. So anything we do outside the walls that we go in and do, from helping, people with food, sending people on mission, anything that's involved with that is part of compassion ministry. So I oversee all of that. So we have Steve Webble, who is over our missions, and Callie Higginbotham, who does a lot of the local outreach and compassion stuff. And then Juanita Gonzalez is our admin, and so she's involved in all of it. So yeah, that's Patch team. So I came to Rush Creek. I've been in this position almost 8 years. It's part of Rush Creek before this position opened up, and at the time I had kind of semi-retired. That makes sense. I wasn't in ministry before that. I was in the business world. I was in insurance, doing things like that. Position just came up, and I don't know, it just kept kind of rolling around in my head. It's like, man, you should check this out. And I talked to Jeff Kirkpatrick. He's like, hey, would y'all even consider me for that position? He's like, you would want to do that? And I'm like, not sure I do, but let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, interviewed and all that, and I came in. My original position was local compassion director, I think was the title. And it was just oversee all the local outreach stuff. And it has just progressed from there. And it's been pretty much a wild ride.
Oh, that's awesome. What's just personally maybe your favorite part of what you get to do?
It's loving on people. I mean, it's the Rush Creek loves that just does it. It's just loving on people and helping people. And the whole thing behind Rush Creek Loves is, why does Rush Creek Loves? Because he first loved us. That's just always kind of been part of my DNA, is just always wanting to help people out and use it as an example of why, and get to answer that question, why? Yeah. Because he first loved us. It gives us a chance to tell the story about Jesus and what he's done for us.
That's awesome. And I think that's cool too, just to hear a part of your story about, you were not in full-time ministry before you stepped into this role. This was something that, you kind of just came up with, like, maybe this is something God wants to do here. And maybe that's a really cool part of your story, just for people to hear too, of sometimes God just calls us in ways that we're not looking for, and we're not expecting. And now you've landed here and doing such a great job. And so our goal for this episode is to really help maybe our people get a better grasp on what we do, what Compassion Ministry does here at Rush Creek, kind of what that encompasses. And so, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah, so we just celebrated something pretty big here, what we call Rush Week. Can you tell our people just a little bit about that? Maybe some like statistics and things of what that looks like as an overall event that we have.
So one thing I'll say about Rush Week, and this is kind of a cool story about how I came here. So before me and my family were part of Rush Creek, we were going to a different church, but my wife was volunteering at the school that our kids were going to. And she came home one night and said, hey, there was a bunch of people from Rush Creek that showed up to help tonight. And she was like really impressed. She said it wasn't just the dad. It wasn't just the moms. It was dads and kids and everything. She's like, I think we need to go check out Rush Creek. And I'm like, no, I'm not so sure I want to do that. But anyway, from that night, it seemed like everywhere I turned that there was somebody from Rush Creek. It was just like God kept putting people in place. Like, okay, God, I can see it. So what's cool about that is Rush Week was the thing that kind of first brought us to Rush Creek, and now I oversee Rush Week. So it's just amazing how God works that. But Rush Week is where we go into school. So we've been doing this around 15 years, and it started just with going into one school, Dalton Elementary, where our Miralagas campus pastor, Jeremiah Sarvis, his wife was working there, and he was spending a lot of time going up, just helping her get ready. And he's like, there's got to be a way we can get other people. And so he just started doing the one school. It's like, hey, let's go in for a couple of hours a night and just help out. And that has just exploded over the years. This year we went into 32 schools across 5 different school districts. We were also involved with 3 back-to-school bashes for 3 different districts. And so it's just continued to grow. We had over 1,000 of our crew show up across the week to do it. And it's just amazing. It's a cool thing. I get emails and phone calls pretty much all year long. Once a teacher has experienced it at one school, maybe they move a school, they're reaching out, it's like, hey, can I get my school on here? Because it saves a lot of time, and it just allows us to go in and love on them and help them get ready. Because schools are a big part of our DNA and what we're doing in school partnerships. And Rush Week is kind of like what we call the big funnel. That's the initial touch point with them that allows us to do other things in there. And people are cutting out laminate, putting up bulletin boards. We do a little painting. We just basically anything new, moving boxes, moving furniture, just whatever the schools need.
Cutting bushes. I know there's some lawn stuff that happens every year too.
There's a few things we have to say no to. We don't like to say no, but there's a few things. We only have a couple hours of the night to do it, so we're limited in time, but we'll do, pretty much anything that we're asked to do.
And it's a cool Rush Week too. It's not just bulletin boards. It's not just laminating, cutting out laminate sheets, all the other things. It's gospel ministry. I mean, we're in the classrooms, and you might be in a classroom with a teacher for 2 hours, and we're getting to hear their story, and then at the end of the night, hey, can we pray for you? Or can we just pray over you for your school year? Is there anything that we could be praying for you about? And sometimes just, those simple acts of showing, hey, we're here to help you, turn into gospel conversations.
You're exactly right. And so just share a couple of stories from that. So just from this year alone, there are several stories of teachers that were on site when we went in, and people go in and they're helping them and ask them, hey, how can we pray for you and stuff? And I heard multiple stories this year of teachers just breaking down crying, going through just life stuff, and having people ask to pray for them in the moment. It was just huge. And it makes a big difference. And I've also seen relationships build where people that go in and volunteer, help a teacher, they go in throughout the school year. When a teacher needs something through the year, they'll go back in. So there's those little touch points. One story, there is a lady that she was brand new at one of the schools we were going into. She had just moved here, hadn't had time to set up anything. She was overwhelmed. We had a couple go in and stay extra, and they stayed and got everything done for her. And she was just amazed. She had come from a place where she had had a bad experience at church. That changed her mind. She's like, I didn't know people at church could do that unselfishly without wanting anything. And she was bringing her kids to go to camp with us this year and things like that. So it just, there's a lot of stories like that, just touch points. Yeah, there's a touch point in the school that night, but it goes way beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, and when you think about it too, you said, I mean, 1,000 plus crew members. I mean, that's an incredible just number right there. But then you think we're there for 2 hours. So that's over 2,000 hours of, just 2,000 man hours of work that these teachers didn't have to do themselves. And these administrators, I mean, I spent a lot of time at the copy machine and cutting out laminate. Those were my two big stations this year during rush week, like hands sore with the scissors afterwards. But
you're right. Those hours are huge. Now, my wife is a new teacher, and so I'm experiencing it on this side for the first time, just the amount of time she spent up there. So saving 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours from is a huge, huge thing. It allows them to go home and be with their families. And yeah, it's a huge thing.
that's awesome.
So we're about to get into the fall season and start having some Thanksgiving and some Christmas things happening. So can you tell our people a little bit about what that looks like?
I can, but I'm just telling you right now, sitting here in August, I have a problem talking about Christmas right now. But for the purposes of this one,
I'm ready for the fall weather.
Right.
Fall weather.
Absolutely. All right. So 2 things. Great Turkey Takeaway. That's our Thanksgiving ministry. And so what that is, it's a Thanksgiving specific food box that we put together that gives a family everything that they might need to prepare their own Thanksgiving feast. It's not a hot meal that we prepare and take to them. We give them everything that they need to go and do that. So we sign up people we identify them through various ways. A lot with our school partners. They let us know families that might need that help and assistance. So we put those together, and then the Saturday before is we call it Great Turkey Takeaway Day, is we have volunteers come in and they'll drive here to Green Oaks, pick up the boxes, we give them the address, and they go deliver it to the families. And the hope is they get to spend some time talking and being relational with the families and letting them know just why we do it and why we love them. One of the cool things that we get to do is, for the past several years, we use our Roots ministry to help pack the boxes. So we do it that Wednesday night, and the kids love it, and it gives us a chance to talk about the ministry with them and let them be a little hands-on in helping that. And we have people, already starting to contact us. When's the turkey thing coming out? And we have families that have done it every year, that we've done it both participating and getting to go. And this is one of the things I love about it. It's a family thing. Your whole family can go and be a part of that. And then we have Operation Joy. That is our Christmas program. It's kind of an angel tree type thing, if you're familiar with that. But what it is people come to us, they have to apply for it, and they can come to us and we sit down with them, get to visit with them, and then they give us kind of a wish list for their kids. And so it's for ages 2 through 12 type of age range. Sometimes we'll go over that if it's a certain circumstance or something, but we'll do all that, and it takes a lot of volunteers and effort to put that together. And then we'll close that down around October, because it takes a lot of time to process it. Yep. And then, right before Thanksgiving, we put cards out. And the card has a child's name and their wish list on there. And every year, besides a wish list, we'll say, let's provide a coat, or let's provide a pair of shoes, a need item that goes with that. And our folks across all campuses will pick one of those up, and they, as individuals and families, get to go out and shop for that child for Christmas. And then we have a Saturday. It's normally the second Saturday in December every year. They come to Green Oaks. We put on a big production. We have, treats and all that kind of stuff. We give them their gifts. But the important thing is we pray with each and every family that comes through. They hear the gospel presentation, And every year we have people come to know Jesus through that. And it's just story after story, just that touches. I mean, there was one year, one of our school partners, there was a teacher that worked there, and she had been given not a whole lot of time to live. She had some form of cancer. And she thought this might be the last Christmas I get to have with my family. Wow. And just, medical bills had racked up. She said, we're just not going to be able to do it. Once we heard that, we had certain individuals in our church come together. It's like, no, we're going to make this special for them. And when she came through, it was just so emotional. And she's just, I can't believe people would do this. And that, out of all the things we do, I hear that time and time again. Why would you do this? You don't know me. Mm-hmm. And it gives us, once again, to say, well, because he first loved us. Yeah. And do that. And so we do that, and it's a big, long day. And so this last year, it was around 1,100 kids that we were able to get gifts for, 450-ish, somewhere along in their families, that through the generosity of the Rush Creek folks that do it. And it takes a lot of work. That whole week leading up to that, we convert our worship center. Yep. We move all the chairs out, and it's just, that's where all the gifts go. And one of my favorite moments every year is I get here early that day, and I go in there. So all the bags, we put them in red bags, and I just go in the worship center, and you just see that. And every one of those represents a child or a family. And I get to just spend some time to pray over that and think about it. And it's pretty overwhelming to me every year. I've done this for a long time, but it's just special to see that. And just to know that it's the generosity of our folks that just want to love on people they don't even know.
Yeah. You mentioned it earlier, but doing these things with your family is so important. And I know for us, like we got to do Great Turkey Takeaway, and my whole family's out there, and my little one's just like trying to put boxes in cars and talk to people. And we turned it into a competition to see which family could go the fastest of getting the most boxes in the car. And so it just makes it fun. But afterwards, like we got to have some really cool conversations, because she was like, wait, why are we doing this? And we're like, well, this is why we're doing it, because Jesus loves us and Jesus has given us so much. Why can we not just give back a little of what we have? And then the same thing with like Operation Joy. My 6-year-old, her favorite thing to do is to go to the table when Operation Joy cards are on the table, and she gets to pick one out. She always gets a little girl that is the same age as her. Yeah. And so she'll go through, and she gets to go to the store and go shopping for her. And so she's so excited about it. And then even this past year, it was so sweet. She picked out a gift, and then she prayed over the gift. And she's like, I'm going to cry. She was like, whoever has this gift, I hope that they're blessed. And I'm like, you're 6. But it's so cool that we get to be a part of those moments, and that the church allows us to get to be a part of that. It's something that's so much bigger than just ourselves. So.
Absolutely. And I love that. And I get to see that every year. I mean, we've got people that look forward to it and love it. And if it's their first year with us, once they see what we're doing, people just love being involved in that. And I love seeing the kids. That's one of the things, I feel like everything we do on Compassion side, our big events, we try to make it family oriented. So everybody in the family can participate in that. I mean, there's nothing better than to learn from when you're little, and it allows our parents to have the conversations, right? Yeah. And do that, and just to get outside of our own bubble and to see, how other people, the things are going through.
And one thing that I love that we do as a staff, specifically for Operation Joy, it may be the week leading up to it or whenever, we as a staff go down to the worship center, and like you said, it's just it's just a sea of gifts. Covering the entire worship center here at Green Oaks. And our staff, for however long it takes us, we walk up and down the aisles of the gifts and pray over each one. And it's truly, it's not just gifts that we're giving, right? It's for gospel ministry. And every year, and I think you told us beforehand, this past year for Operation Joy, almost 20 salvations coming out of Operation Joy in 2024. So
So that's 20 eternities that are changed. It's not just about the gifts. The gifts are great, but it's about changing someone's eternity, right? Yeah. And sharing the story of Jesus. We have the best story to tell, and that's just an entryway into allowing us to tell that story.
Exactly. And so, as we're entering into the fall, like we said, we're getting back into school. You were talking about you got to go sit in the car line here in a little bit. So school time's rolling back up again, and we're back into it. What we have, maybe our people may not really, a lot of our people may not know about our backpack ministry that we do throughout the week for our partner schools. Can you explain a little bit about what that is and how we partner with our schools, not just for Rush Week at the beginning of school, but beginning of the school year, but throughout as well?
So the Backpack Meals Ministry is something that we provide food for kids through our schools. And they call it a backpack meal because we put it in a bag and they can put it in a child's backpack. That's where the name comes from. But we work with our school partners. Right now it's around 25. It tends to fluctuate on that, and we're hoping to increase that. But we work with these schools and they identify children that may be at risk over the weekends. So there's a lot of kids that they get food during the school week, through different programs and stuff, but on the weekends at home, they may not have enough food to eat. Now, when we put this together, the hope is that it's supplemental, that it is not the only food that this child might get, but unfortunately, there's probably some cases where that is, and an 8-year-old girl doesn't get any say on what food she has on the weekend. She's not capable of going out or providing that. So we buy the food and we get it through donations. We have different volunteers that come in and help pack it every week. So we'll put like 9 items in a bag. We pack them up, and then we have delivery volunteers that come pick them up and take them to the schools. And then the schools hand them out, normally on Fridays. They'll give them for them to take home for the weekend. And, this past year we were averaging a little over 500 a week. But here's the thing, we could triple and quadruple that number. The need is there. Yeah. It's just, it takes funds and it takes, people to do it. And our goal is to increase that and be able to do that more. And we'll get notes from the kids saying, thank you so much for doing this and stuff. I'll tell you, the volunteers that do it are loyal. They absolutely love coming and packing, and the delivery folks absolutely love it. And even at some of the schools, they'll have the kids come out and help unload it and stuff. They just get so excited about it. It's just an amazing, amazing need. That unfortunately, the need is real, but it's just something that through the generosity, once again, of our Rush Creek partners, that we're able to provide that. And we get reached out to by schools that don't currently have it. Hey, can you help us and can we be a part of that?
And I know you sent this to us beforehand, but this past school year, 2024 to 25, provided over 16,000 backpack meals.
Yeah.
I mean, across those schools,
That's
which
amazing.
is incredible. Across the whole school year. But not only did we do the backpack meals, but we did something a little different this past year with some food pantries that we were able to work with, maybe with our local high schools.
Yeah. So through our ministry, our Dollar Club ministry. So our Dollar Club ministry is
it's a good transition right there to Dollar Club. Let's talk about Dollar Club.
So Dollar Club is a ministry that we do where we ask everybody that calls Rush Creek home to just give $1, one extra dollar a month. And then we take that and put it all together, and we try to meet needs where they're seeing them. And our people have been just amazingly generous. But last year, at the beginning of the school year, we had worked with one of our local partners that provides us food and stuff. So backpack meals look different at a high school level than they do at an elementary school.
So maybe back to the backpack meals. What does a backpack meal consist of? Maybe that we pack on a weekly basis.
In theory, it has like 2 breakfast items, 2 lunch items, 2 dinner items. And now when I say dinner, it might be like a Chef Boyardee ravioli bowl. Yeah. It's not a full-blown meal, and then snacks in there too. Doesn't always have to be the most healthy thing. I know some people out there, and I'm sorry, moms, if you disagree with me on that, but hey, they're kids. Let's give them something sweet to eat and fun.
Just to make sure they have something.
To have something. We try to get a mix of protein and different things in there. So 8 to 9 items in there to do that. So for going back to the 8-year-old girl, she eats different than a 16-year-old high school boy. Exactly. So at the high school level, there's food pantry. So one of our partners, Hymn Center, they have a food pantry that they allow that they worked with the high school. So we did it with 3 different high schools last year. and they identify the kids that may have some issues. And on the high school level, you deal with a lot of kids that are homeless. Now they're considered homeless for whatever reason. They might have had an issue with mom and dad or whatever, or parents have kicked them out of the house. They're living out of their car and stuff, and they just don't have a way to do it. So through these food pantries, so we fund the food pantry every month that allows these kids to go and do it. And it was a little over 200 a month that we were able to help feed just through those food pantries last month. And so that came through Dollar Club. In doing that, that was a Dollar Club recipient. We identified 4 schools last year, and we agreed to fund it for a year to do that. But just through the generosity again of our people, we're going to be able to extend that. We're not going to do all 4 this year, but we're going to be able to continue. And 2 of the schools that had the biggest need, and we're going to be able to continue doing that. And it's just, once again, I just hear story after story, from kids that have been blessed by it.
That's awesome. And Dollar Club, I mean, we've done some awesome, I mean, if you've been here on a Sunday before, you've seen Dollar Club videos and the testimonies that we've gotten to do. I mean, helping people pay off medical debt, helping people with vehicles that didn't have reliable vehicles. I mean, and too, it's cool because we ask people, hey, just give $1 extra a month, right? But then, because we at each campus we'll have a designated spot for Dollar Club giving that you can see, and people, I mean, you'll see people dropping in 20s, 50s. I mean, they're like, I want to give to this to help our community. I mean, it's so fun to watch.
It is cool. And every single week I'll see kids walk in with their dollar. It's one of their favorite things to do every week. They sprint to the box and drop that in there. I mean, it's just the coolest thing. I mean, it just goes to show you, I think the tagline is small amount, big impact. So $1 extra from everybody, when you pull it together, it amounts. God's math isn't 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 300 million. Type of deal. I mean, he multiplies where we add. And it's just amazing to see. I just love this. Through all of this that we've talked about, I love how our people get involved and just want to be a part of it. And they're extremely generous.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think that's kind of a good segue too. I mean, we talked a lot about these different ministries and things like that. And I mean, there's so many different avenues, right, to get involved, right, and to be a part of this. And so what would be your recommendation for somebody who's maybe hearing this for the first time? Like, I didn't know we had that kind of thing. I didn't know we had all these things. What's a great first step for people to take to be involved in our compassion ministry here at Rush Creek?
Well, they can reach out to our compassion team, and we'll try to get you plugged in somewhere. Like I said, our school partnerships. So there's a multitude of things across the school year where the schools reach out to us. Hey, they may somebody come in and just be a lunchroom monitor or something. They just need people to do that. We need people to help pack the weekend backpack meal bags, delivery drivers to help, deliver those. There's just a multitude of things. And of course, on all of our big events in Operation Joy and Great Turkey Takeaway, when we promote those, sign up, come be a part of that. And especially on Operation Joy, I would just say everybody come and do it just so they can see it all, just to see it. And I guarantee it'll change you once you see it and do that. But there's a multitude of ways. If they reach out to us, we can, we'll find a place to plug you in. And, and Hope Ranch is also a part of Compassion Center. So we need people out at the ranch to come and volunteer and stuff too. So there's a multitude of ways to get in and do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, to end on a fun note, we were curious, we were talking earlier, what is the most interesting or, I don't know what word to use, creative donation that you've ever received to the
I
Compassion
don't know,
Center?
I'd say this is creative, but it's interesting.
Yes.
So in a
This
food
is what we're looking
donation
for.
we get, so one of the things we do when we get food come in, we check for expiration dates and stuff. So, unfortunately, sometimes we get things that are out of expiration. Well, we kind of have a little hall of fame of some of the ones that are most out of. The thing that wins the prize is I got a packet of, I think it was Béarnaise sauce, one of those packets you get on there, that it expired in like 2007. So it had been in somebody's pantry for a long time. So I still have that somewhere. It's like, okay, that's been in there for quite a while. So
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go visit the Hall of Fame one day
Listen,
to see.
if you did donate that, we appreciate your donation.
Yes.
We're very thankful.
Absolutely. So we don't always look at that stuff, right? So yeah, that one just got a chuckle out of.
That is funny.
That's awesome. Well, Shane, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast with us today. And I think just a takeaway for our people today is to see just all the ways that Rush Creek loves, right? I mean, truly, and you've said it, I mean, Rush Creek loves because he first loved us. And it's our way to show our community, it's our way to show our neighbors, our school partners, our kids, all these people, that they are loved by a creator. And that's our message to you as well, listeners. You are loved by a God who loves you more than you could ever imagine, who knows you deeply, who knows you personally. And we hope just through Rush Creek Loves, through our compassion ministry, that we're able to do that for our community. And so, Shane, thanks for jumping on with us
glad to be here.
This was super fun, and I hope you listeners as well that you are able to learn a little bit more about our compassion ministry. If you want to jump in and be involved, you can always reach out to Shane or any of our compassion ministry members. They would love to get you connected to all the things that we have going on. Rush Creek Loves, and so thank you guys for jumping in and listening with us again today on the Rush Creek podcast. We hope, it's our desire that this podcast helps you become forerunners of the faith, united to help people find and follow Jesus. All right, we'll see you back again next week for another fun conversation with us as your hosts. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Rush Creek podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Join us every Monday to make this your favorite weekly habit.
See you next week.